All right, guys, what's going on? So something that I want to talk about today is how to create your very first shipment when you purchase products at the store, online, for wholesale, or even private label. How do you actually get these products? And let's say you have different types of products. You have some of these, and you might have, I don't know, some of these. How are you going to be able to put multiple products that are different types inside the same box? How do you label them? How do you send them to Amazon? And ultimately, how do you do it all correctly so that when Amazon gets it, they actually receive it, they unload it, and they put them in your inventory specifically? I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that in this video, how to pack it up, and ultimately how to get your first products that you're trying to sell to get that profit into Amazon received correctly. Let's go. All right, guys, so I'm going to break this video up into 3 easy steps. The first step is how we're going to label these products. We have to basically print out barcodes to put onto the products. After they're labeled, we need to make sure that they're prepped correctly so that when we put them into the box and Amazon gets them, they are in their prep requirement. Now, after we put them inside the box, after they're labeled, how do we ship them into Amazon? I'm gonna show you guys all that in this video, so let's get into it. The very first step, like I said, is labeling the products. So you have to go into Seller Central and put your products in, and once you do, you will get these barcodes. So after you identified what product you want to sell, you want to come to Amazon, and the ASIN is going to be at the top of the page. You just want to click on this portion of the URL, or you can scroll down to the product details and then copy the ASIN that way. Now, once we have the ASIN, now we can actually go into Seller Central and put this item into our inventory. So we want to come to Seller Central and scroll up to the top of the page, and you want to hit Add Products. Now, this is where we can actually put it in on the back end of Amazon so that our product will sell when customers purchase it. So you want to paste the ASIN, click search, and then the product should pop up. Now, the select a condition, you're obviously going to be selling new only, so you want to click new and then click on sell this product. Now, this is where we can actually enter in our details, such as our price, and we can see if we want to FBM it or FBA it. So the first thing we want to do is, once again, enter our price. You don't always want to match the lowest price. You want to see the current buy box, which for this case is $24.99, and you want to select the fulfillment channel, which you can do FBM or FBA, which is the second option. After that, hit save and finish, and now our inventory will be live within 15 minutes. Next, you want to come back to the inventory and click manage all inventory, grab the ASIN once again, search it up after 15 minutes, and it should appear in our inventory. And once it does, now we can actually print out the FNSKU barcode labels to put on the product. So you want to come to the print item labels on the right-hand side drop-down menu, and then you want to select the specific paper. Now, I personally use a 30-up label paper, and you can click 30 labels and then print the item labels, click OK, and then we have the shipping template able to be printed. And honestly, it couldn't be any simpler than that. Those are all the steps you need in order to create Amazon barcodes for your products. Essentially, you're going to print them out, stick it on to the product like this. Dove candy. This was a meltable item that I was selling. I remember still selling it, but essentially you want to label it over this barcode. Just put it on so that the initial barcode isn't readable. You can also put it sideways, for example, like this. However, when it has different material like this flap and stuff like that, it can get easily messed up sideways. So as long as it is covering a portion of the barcode, they're going to know to scan this one. And this one actually isn't even going to be readable, so it can be long ways or this way. Whatever way makes the most sense, that's not going to get messed up. That is how you want to label it. It would be the same thing for like a supplement or a beauty product. You once again just want to put it over this label. For a bottle that's rounded like this, you don't want to put it this way because it's going to be hard for them to scan. You once again want to do up and down so that it's in one line and their scanner can read it completely right here, as opposed to this one. If you have it wrapping around, it might be too long and the scanner can't fully scan around the circumference of this bottle. Now, for some items that you're going to do multi-packs, where you're having multiple units in a pack, like for example, let's say we're doing 2 packs of chocolate, right? We want to sell 2 of these packs of chocolate, and now for this, we want to bundle them. Now, for multi-packs, what you're going to need is a Polybag. Now, this is like different sizes where you have, the small, the medium, the super medium, and the large, extra large, whatever. You have different sizes, and now what you want to do is you want to mix and match, put the things together and then figure out what size poly bag you actually want to use. And essentially, once you have them in the poly bag, this is a completely different product, but once again, once you have them in the poly bag, what you want to do is you want to put them in the poly bag, close it up, put the barcode on the poly bag plastic, and then you want to add "this is a set" sticker. Now, the "this is a set" stickers are just these guys right here. You can get them on Amazon once again as well. But Amazon requires you to add "this is a set," where you're telling Amazon once they receive your product that once they get this, not open it up. If they open it up, it's no longer a set, okay? And it's a single product. And then, if you don't, essentially they're most likely not going to open it up because you're gonna have the FNSKU barcode on the outside of the plastic. But once again, you wanna make sure that you're crossing your I's, dotting your T's, and making sure that everything that they get is by the book, what they require, and essentially it makes it very easy for them to not open it up. Another use case for poly bags that you have to poly bag is when you can physically touch the product. Like for this dog chew toy, you can actually touch these chew toys and essentially mess them up, so this needs to be inside of a poly bag. So I would use a small to medium poly bag. I would put it in one, see if it fits. Okay, if it doesn't, use a bigger size. And essentially this item might move around a little bit, but once again, you want to have it to where you're closing it so that's pretty tight and that this is in that poly bag. And once again, the FNSKU goes on the outside of the poly bag. Now, once we have the items labeled, these are just simple labels where you're just putting an FNSKU over the item like this, or like this as I showed. We want to put it inside of a box. Now for this example, I'm going to use a very small box, doesn't matter. But when you are sending in a first shipment, if you use a bigger box, like for beauty stuff and stuff that's smaller like these items, I typically use the small boxes, heavy duty. Make sure you're getting the heavy duty, the small heavy duty boxes from Lowe's or Home Depot. And so essentially you want the box to be around 50 pounds. Now, Amazon will not accept anything over 50 pounds, but it needs to be 50 pounds or under. And the higher you have the weight, the heavier it'll be, but the more you're going to save in savings for shipping. Because if you're just sending out, 1 to 2 items, you can see how it's very inefficient using multiple boxes. And the more the box weighs, the more shipping savings you're going to get. So once again, for this example, I'm using a small box. And essentially what you want to do is you want to put the product in the box. Very simple. Put it in the box. And essentially what you want to do is you want to have the box pretty much as full as possible. In this box example, it's obviously not full, but let's say you're just sending in a small shipment and you want to just test out the water, see if the product that you're selling is actually going to sell. So in this case, what you want to do is put it in the box, and then what you want to do is you want to either add, bubble wrap is going to be extremely inefficient. So what I use is I actually have some packing paper. Grab the packing paper, and you want to this is a small, tiny piece. Basically, you want to fill the entire box up with packing paper so that the box has packing paper, everything's covered, and it can't move around in the box. When things can move around, let's say you have more like expensive beauty items or food items or stuff that could really get, rearranged and messed up. The more it can move, these people are going to be throwing these boxes for UPS. You're dropping off for UPS, and you don't want the box to be, super movable, all the items in there, everything's not flush. And also when you close it, and it's not flush and it's not fully packed, you can just basically just push in the box. So you essentially want to have it completely full of, once again, the packing paper. And then to close it off, to tape it closed, you want to add a little bit of packing paper. Obviously more than this, is just an example. And then you want to close it. And then you need to tape it closed. And then after that, your items are labeled and packed in the box correctly, so that they don't get damaged and aren't moving around, and the box isn't going to get open once people throw it and step on it. And that's not going to happen, but you never know. You really never know. So those are the different cases where you want to polybag an item. Now I'll link down below the polybags that I use specifically on Amazon. Once again, you can use any polybag, doesn't really matter, but I'll show you guys the ones that I use, along with the packing paper that I use for each box. Because you want to make sure you're using packing paper so that the box, once again, does not open and close. It's not going to open close because you're taping it correctly, but it doesn't get pushed in, and the things in the box don't move around, because the items move around and they get jacked up. Once you get to Amazon, they might be no longer sellable, and then Amazon might throw them or whatever. So you want to make sure you're doing everything correctly, because you're spending money on these items. You want to make sure they're getting to Amazon correctly and in the right condition that you intend them to. Now, there will be another case where you might be selling some type of glass item, maybe a jar, a candle, whatever it is, where it's not inside of a box and it's just the actual item. There's various beauty items that I sell like this. Now with this item, you need to actually bubble wrap it. This is a giant piece of just random bubble wrap. So you'd have more either bubble mailers or bubble wraps and slips that you would cut out. But essentially what you want to have this item is just needs to be bubble wrapped. And then you would need to put it inside of a poly bag as well, and then put the label on top of that. So that once again, once this drops, it ain't breaking, because Amazon requires, I think it's like a 3-foot drop test, something crazy, like hip height, where they may just drop your item, and if it's not bubble wrap and it breaks, it's on you. So you want to make sure that you're bubble wrapping these items and making sure that they are drop test ready. Now, most likely won't happen, but if it does, and you ain't wrap it right, I don't know what to tell you, man. After we have all these items, either, labeled, poly bag, bubble wrapped in poly bags with the FNSKU on top, or over the barcode, the next step is putting them into the box. Once they're boxed and packed with packing paper and closed, taped closed with, enough tape so that they don't open up. The next step is generating shipping labels for that box that tells Amazon exactly what's inside of the box. Now, if you learned anything new or this video was informative, make sure to smash the like button or subscribe down below, because I will be releasing multiple videos every single week showing you guys exactly how to sell on Amazon with the different models, whether it's a retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, or private label. I talk too fast, so make sure to smash the like button and subscribe down below. Join the team, and let's get to it. So when you have your box completed and you're ready to label it with the UPS label to drop it off to UPS store so that they can grab your box and send it to Amazon's warehouse, you have to create box labels, obviously. Now, that process is also simple. However, I want to give you guys a step-by-step video on exactly how to do that, because it requires you hopping on a laptop, getting into Seller Central, putting the items, into the box quantity inside of their send to Amazon shipping, breakdown on the website. So I will show you guys exactly how to do that in this video right here. Make sure to click on it, and I'll show you guys exactly what to do, especially when it comes to different products inside of the same box. Because when everything's in the same box, it's very simple. But when you have this product and that product and, a bunch of products, click on this video right here, and I'll show you guys exactly how to do it. I'll see you guys in that video.